Hey everybody, it's John Thomas and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video today. The last video I put up was about 7 days ago, and boy has the world changed in those 7 days. I feel like the video on the prior Saturday I was sharing some tips on how to prepare and not panic, and then was sharing with you guys a little bit about trying to find a restaurant. And here we are today where most of the US and the rest of the world is shutting down. People are panic buying, and it's something that I don't think any of us ever have seen in our lifetimes before. Maybe you have. If you have, comment down below. But never thought that I would see this as big as it's grown. That being said, I didn't know what to make a video about. You know, I see people making all these clickbaited videos to get you to watch their channel. I see people with really inappropriate jokes that they're trying to share about this situation. And so I didn't know what to do. I don't know what to say, but I maybe wanted to share a little bit about what my experience has been over the last month and a half to maybe help you think about what you're about to go through in the rest of the world. If you've been following my channel for a little bit, thank you and welcome to all of you who are new. I've shown a little bit of what that journey feels like, and I've shown you how I've kind of gone through my daily routine, but I haven't really shared a lot about my feelings about being quarantined and what that felt like. And so I thought that I would share in an effort to just kind of show you my path and kind of how I went through the last month and a half, in an effort to maybe support you as you go through what you're going to go through. I know we're going to be living in two different experiences, and don't know how well they're going to relate to each other, but I can just share my experience, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I remember when I first learned that I would be kind of quarantined and be stuck in my apartment. And I remember my initial thought was I need to go to the grocery store and make sure I have enough water. I had no idea that toilet paper would be a huge thing as it's been around the world. I do have a bidet, which at some point I'll show you in my apartment tour, so maybe that wasn't the first thing that crossed my mind. But I also have a shower, and so I still don't understand that, but you guys can maybe share that with me later. But I just want to make sure I had enough water and I had enough food, so I immediately went down to the grocery store and got water, and every day for the first week I would count my water to make sure that I had enough days to at least last me for 7 days in case the grocery store closed. And then I had this big jug of water that would be my backup. Like if the grocery store closed and I run out of my bottled water, I've got this big jug of water that I will make last for the rest of the time. And I think that that would be kind of considered panic buying, but about 4 days into China's lockdown situation, the government announced that no grocery stores will close and that any deliveries of food and water will continue to happen. And I think that made everybody feel really good that we will have the supplies that we need to live. Toilet paper not being one of them, but we would have our food and our water. And immediately I got less panicked. So I'm hoping that in countries around the world they make a similar statement. I hope that they tell you that food deliveries will still happen and that grocery stores will still be open, because I do think that that's a necessity. And if any of you work in grocery stores, a huge thank you to you. You know, along with all of the medical workers and everybody who's doing such an incredible job to try to contain this. Those people who have to work in order for the rest of us to survive, I think deserves huge recognition. So thank you. Especially, I don't know if anybody watches me in China, but all the food delivery people and the grocery store people who stayed open to make sure that we were all safe was awesome. So hopefully that happens for you guys as well. If it doesn't, then I can understand a little bit of that panic buying mentality, because you just want to look out for yourself and your family. I get it. So somebody needs to say something about that, and hopefully they say that soon. But I definitely was there and I felt that. I think at some point I felt really selfish too. You know, I had a trip planned to Singapore, I had a trip planned to Italy, And I was like, now I can't go to all these places. Like, that sucks. Like, what's going on? Like, that's so unfair. What am I going to do? And then I realized, like, okay, there's a bigger situation at hand here, and I've got to make sure that I'm thinking about more of the community and how we can fight this instead of thinking about me. I know in my top 5 tips, it killed me to say don't travel, but at this point, you know, things are getting canceled anyway, so I'm glad all of that's coming true, because we shouldn't be traveling right now at this point. And when we do get to travel, it's probably gonna be cheap, so we can go a lot of places for really inexpensive prices. So just trying to look at the bright side there. I think that selfish feeling was okay. You know, I think that, you know, that lived in that for a little bit. And then there was definitely like a depressive state. Like, if something happens at home, how am I gonna be able to get there? There's no flights. I'm stuck here. You know, similar to, I'm sure, some of what you guys are experiencing. If something happens, how are you gonna get there? You know, I'm hearing California might shut down. So something happens in New York, like, are you gonna still be able to get there? So I think all of those things are also rational fears that, you know, we have to think about in situations like this. And so you'll probably feel that too at some point. And if you don't, then I just put that in your head, and I apologize in advance for that. And then I think you start to see hope. You know, there's a couple of times in my videos where I go outside and I'm excited that, like, wow, I'm making progress. And, you know, this past week I started work again, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is great. Like, I'm back at work, and things are starting to feel normal again. And yes, I still have to wear a mask. And yes, I'm still getting my temperature checked probably close to 15 times a day. And yes, I still have very limited operating hours for my grocery stores and everything. But again, it's to keep everybody safe and the community feeling really good. But things are starting to get back to normal. And so know that that will happen over time, where you're gonna start to feel like things will make more sense here in a little bit. And lastly, I guess I felt like, I think the last emotion I would share with you would be, I don't know how I would phrase this. I'm trying to think of the right word, but it's not happiness, it's not joy, but there's definitely an appreciation at the end of this of how much freedom you had in the past, and how much nature you enjoyed, and how great it was to live without a mask. And I feel like that collective experience that we're all having right now is gonna help make an even better life for all of us. I know that sounds really out there and kind of crazy, and totally get it if you think that too, but I've never appreciated this, the smell of fresh air as much as I do now if I have to take my mask down for a little bit. Appreciate it. I'll never realize like how much I missed just the feeling of going outside. I'm innately an introvert, and I thought that being a hermit and living inside my apartment for a month would be my dream come true, when in fact I really love connecting with people and the social engagement. And so I'm probably gonna do more of that now that this is coming to an end here in China. There are things like that, like, oh, hold on. There are things like that that I just have such an appreciation for now more than ever before. And so I think that you'll feel like different at the end of this experience. This sounds really lame, I know it, but I think you'll feel different. And I hope that, oh, sorry, I got a couple phone calls, so I had to stop filming, but don't remember where I left off. Anyways, I think I was near the end because my camera cut off at 10 minutes, and I don't want to make this a super long video. I'm gonna sneeze. Look at the light. Oh, don't touch your face. All right, so I just wanted to share with you all that it gets better. And I think your appreciation for life is gonna get even stronger, And although it is tough right now, I hope that you can see the silver lining at the end of this. And although this is a really serious situation and we're all quarantining ourselves in order to protect those who are vulnerable, you know, we're doing it all for the right reasons. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Pop down in the comments below. Tell me, what are you doing with your time as you're stuck inside? I'd love to hear. I respond to pretty much every single comment since there's not a lot of them. So I would love to engage that way as well. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I can't believe it. We're at 70 subscribers. So thank you so much for joining the channel. And I hope to produce more and more content for you as freedoms continue to kind of come to fruition here in China, to maybe give you guys a little bit of glimpse and something to look forward to. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.